It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy. Coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, go, go. Dig, dig, dig. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Yeah. Funny story.
Yeah. Yeah, Jim Pedley with a Kansas City Star. Carl, 2 victories. You got 2 victories this weekend. Will you celebrate after this, or is this go home and go home and puke?
I'm going to do all the celebrating, I can tell you that.
He'll probably celebrate for me. We're going to fly home, and it'll just, it's nice knowing that we had such a big gap to close coming in here. The only way that I knew we could be satisfied is if we did what we did tonight, and that we could feel like we gave it our best effort. So I don't know if it's cause for celebration as much as just feeling good about what we did.
10-4. Let's go upstairs. We've got a question, then we'll come back down. Go ahead. Upstairs, do we have a question? Cannot hear upstairs. We'll come back downstairs. Go ahead. Right here to David.
David Poole, Star Observer. Carl, you sort of touched on this about 100%, and knowing that you guys gave all you gave.
Right.
You won 3 of the last 4 races.
Yeah.
You know, after your problem, there are teams in this chase this year. There have been teams historically in the chase throughout the history of the chase that have had a problem and folded up like cheap lawn furniture. You guys had 2 bad weeks, and you won 3 of the last 4 races. That's the kind of thing you're talking about, the 100%, the bouncing back from that?
Right, yeah. I mean, it's one of the toughest things to do is to just keep your head up, do the best you can, and take what you get. And that's why I'm so excited about the years to come, because I feel like this team can really they can do it, regardless of the odds or whatever. It would have been really easy for all the guys to get lax and not pay attention to all the detail that they do at the shop, and for Bob not to take the gambles or spend the time that he spends on the race car. So yeah, it's cool to be with a group of guys like that. I mean, these 2 guys sitting next to me, I mean, they're as tough and determined as anyone. It's cool to be a part of it.
Take a question downstairs. Go ahead.
Yeah, David Newton, ESPN.com. This is for Jack. You know as an owner how tough it is to win a title. Rick's now won 8 out of the last 14. How impressive is that to you, and what does it take to be at that level for that long?
Well, I won 1 out of the first 18. I remembered that. That was my record. And Chris, I'd been to Daytona for about 8 times with my road race cars before I went to the Daytona with a stock car, and every time I'd been there, I'd always won. And in fact, the road racing we won almost for 14 years. We won 48% of the races we entered. So, and virtually all the championships that were in front of us. So it really came as a real dose of shot of cold water, a dose of reality to figure out how hard it is to do this. That Rick has built a strong organization. He's got a great balance between his marketing and his engineering, his identification of and development of able drivers like Jimmy and Jeff Gordon, and he certainly set a high bar there for us. I don't know if anybody with with the nature of this new car, I don't know that any owner will win as many races in the near term as he's won in the recent past. I just focus on next year, and I know as I looked at last year, we started off last year with a testing deficit with a car tomorrow. We got that fixed toward the end of the year. We finished the year on a real high note, having won here and felt like that we had a chance to make a run for it next year. I don't have a major concern toward next year in terms of either trying to fix a technical problem or trying to fix a team problem. You know, the teams are functioning well. The technical side is great. I just hope we can maintain our pace and our position on all those things. And maybe next year somebody else will have the 2 ignition boxes that fail. We had Carl talked about his ignition box problem. We had 2 brand new ignition boxes that had never been in a race car before that you expect to be as reliable as shotgun shells that you put in your gun in hunting season. And both ignition boxes failed at the same time on the same lap on the racetrack. And you just don't get any unluckier than that. And when that's going against you, you can't recover from it in a 10-race deal. Well, yeah, we had a wreck at Talladega. That was unfortunate. But to have a second thing happen that you couldn't have stopped or couldn't have predicted, I just hope that we can do as well as we can picking our parts next year. The engine guys will do, Doug and the guys will do a nice job with the engine so that they'll be as good as they were this year. And we're just going to try to keep it going.
Got a question here from Mike, and then we'll go back to David. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike Harris, May-P. Carl, I don't know whether you're an optimist or a pessimist, but as you look ahead to the winter, you know, obviously you're going to come into next season as one of the favorites, along with Jimmy and maybe a couple of other guys. Are you going to think more over the winter about the things that didn't go right this year, or the things that did go right?
Well, definitely the things that did go right. I mean, the thing about sport is that you make decisions in the heat of the battle, and this is a decision you made, and you got to move on and learn from them. But you know, I'm really proud of what we've done this season, and yeah, we were close, but you know, it is what it is. Next season we get to start fresh, and we get to go apply the things we've learned and keep doing what we've been doing, and yeah, I'd say in that respect I'm definitely an optimist.
The question here, then we'll go Holly and then Tony. Go ahead.
Sort of following up on that, we seem to be obsessed with rivalries and pushing people into rivalries in the sport. But clearly, starting next season, a lot of it will be framed of you trying to deny Jimmy a 4th championship because of the way you guys ran, and him trying to win a 4th championship. As the season starts next year, you will be one of the 2 focuses. Do you relish that role as being one of the guys that you know, everybody's going to take the best shot at Jimmy, but you'll be the guy that everybody expects to give him your best shot?
You know, I hope I am. You know, I guess Jimmy has a chance to make some real history next season. I would be glad to be the guy to deny him that chance. You know, I don't know if it really matters what's written or what's said. I learned that this season there's so many things got built up, and everybody thought things were going one way, and then they go another way, and then it just was this, you know, it evaded everyone exactly what was going to happen. So yeah, I'll try not to get caught up in that, but you know, hopefully we can live up to the expectation that not only we have, but that our fans and our sponsors and stuff have.
I will go with Holly, Tony, and then Tom. Go ahead.
Carl, you say it kind of matter-of-factly about, you know, finishing second in both of these championships, but some people could argue, I mean, that is a major feat. I mean, as hard perhaps as winning one or the other to finish second in the competition. And if you could just speak a little bit more about that. I mean, it's a huge accomplishment.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Feels good. But, you know, it's neat to be able to race both of them. It's very enjoyable. I really appreciate Jack giving me the opportunity to do it, and the guys that he's put with me. I know that Drew right now, Drew Blickensturfer is. I mean, he already told me. He looked at me square in the eye and he said, "Man, we are going to be better next year. We are going out and to win every single race." So I know he's on the. You know, he's got the killer mindset right now. I'm sure Bob feels the exact same way, and I do too. So, yeah, it's a good year. Second in both is an accomplishment. It's great, but you know, we hope we can do a little better next season.
The thing that's there about the 2 championships, you know, is they're not at the same place, and all the trips that Carl made back and forth across the country. Of course, David Reagan and Clint Boyer and a number of others did the same thing. But those trips, that's a young man's game to be able to travel all night and race and get in a race car that you haven't been in some cases and drive it to great effect and trust what people have done when you weren't there. It's amazing. As a young man, I don't think I could have done what they're doing, and I suspect that most couldn't. But
you're being too nice. You do it with us right now.
I can't do a lot of the things right now that I could have done younger, and when I was younger, I couldn't have done what you do.
Let's go Tony, Tom, and then we'll go upstairs. Go ahead.